Guys, thanks for keeping up the energy. Very fun lady coming up. Please get up for the very funny Kristin O'Brien.
Hi. This is backwards. There we go. People say comedians are narcissistic, but enough about people. My mom's a peach. She's always cleaning out her closet and bringing me jeans. She says, "Here, honey, I thought maybe you could wear these. They're way too big for me." Now look, I know I've put on some weight. I have so much junk in my trunk, I feel like I'm being followed. I avoid full-length mirrors because my ass looks much better from the neck up. Weight gain is not without its positives, though. I cleaned out my closet, and I went over to see her. I said, "Mom, thanks for the big-ass jeans. Here's all my little titty shirts." I work in an Asian fusion restaurant. Yesterday, I delivered food to the wrong table, and the sushi chef gave me a look like, "Remember Pearl Harbor, round eye." Which is weird, because he's Mexican. I work with a lot of young people. Working with young people is going to lower my IQ by 10 points. They have the common sense of an extra in a Final Destination movie. One day at work, one of the young waiters snorted a packet of sugar. I asked him, "Why would you snort sugar?" And he said, "'Cause Sweet and Low has a horrible aftertaste." My own kids are not any smarter, though. My daughter, Heather, she insists on dating guys who are really bad for her. The current one's the worst yet. I thought maybe she was too close to the situation and couldn't see it, and that I should spell it out for her. I sent her a text message. I said, "Heather, what are you doing tonight? Are you hanging out with the married, alcoholic, homeless, suicidal guy who lives in the trailer by the river?" She texted back, "That sounds horrible. It's a lake." My daughter Jillian, though, she dates the kind of guys that I date. She sent me a text message with a picture of someone she met online and was having dinner with. She asked me what I thought. I said, "He has beautiful blue eyes, but he's a horrible kisser." I did try dating younger men, but there's just some things I never thought I'd hear a boyfriend say, like, "2 adults for the Lego movie, please." I have a young roommate. I used to think that he thought of me as his mother until one day he came home from a bad date of his own. And he said, "Kristin, neither of us is having any luck out there. We should just call it a day and get married." I said, "Right, I can't marry you. It'd be good for about 10 years, and then you'd run away with some cute little 20-something. But he said, "No, I wouldn't. I think your daughter will be 35 then." I raised his rent. I never think anything bad can happen where the weather is good. Right? When going someplace here in Texas and people tell me to be careful, I'm always like, what could happen? It's 75 degrees outside. Even if I'm in a rough part of town where there's graffiti and homeless people, still I'm like, what do you mean they could be dangerous? I just heard one of them say y'all, and he just called me ma'am. Are you sure they're homeless? Maybe they're just hanging out. It's 75 degrees outside. Never surprised when bad things happen in places where the weather's crappy. There were 3 women held captive in Ohio for 11 years.
Right.
Can you imagine? 11 years in Ohio. It's overcast or rainy 200 days a year. I thought everyone there was tied to a bedpost. Why else would you stay in Cleveland? Of course there was a Boston Strangler. Half the city is one snow day away from a violent crime spree. But here in sunny Texas, I feel perfectly safe. I went jogging yesterday. I stopped because I got a cramp. A guy in a greasy wife beater pulled his van over and offered me a ride. I would have taken it too if my Fitbit hadn't said I needed another 1,200 steps. Did you know that in any given year there are as many as 25 serial killers operating in the state of Florida? Until Dexter, no one even thought about it because the golf is so good. Went to my class reunion recently. It's good for material. I saw my friend Tim there. In high school, Tim was a bit of a firecracker. He was always blown off class to drink and smoke pot, and he'd rather lie to you than tell you the truth any day of the week just for fun. Once he asked me for $5, and I knew it was for pot, but I just wanted to hear what he'd come up with. So I asked him what it was for. He said, my mother forgot to give me lunch money. I said, Tim, why don't you just say it's for pot? Your mother's the lunch lady. He was at the reunion. He was looking good. I said, Tim, you look great. Tell me about your life. He said, Kristin, I quit drinking. I quit smoking pot. I have a great job, a big house, a beautiful wife, and 3 lovely children on the honor roll. I said, that's wonderful, Tim. I'm so happy for you. He said, yeah, still having a little trouble with the lying, though. I also saw my friend Rhonda. Every comic should have a friend like Rhonda. I never know what she's gonna say, but I always bring a pen. She gave me this necklace. I said, Rhonda, thank you so much for the necklace. It's beautiful. Where'd you get it? She said, I got it at a fundraiser for a battered women's shelter. I told them I really wish I could buy more, but my husband would kill me. I don't think she realized what she said till I took out the pen. Once we were at my house having coffee, I said, we have to be quiet. My husband's upstairs recovering from a vasectomy. When he finally came down, she patted him on the back and said, congratulations on the vasectomy. That takes balls. I think my favorite person at the reunion, though, was Mr. Arnaldo. And Mr. Arnaldo was my favorite teacher because of an assignment he gave in 10th grade history class. He said, imagine that when you die, you can come back at any time in history as anyone in history. Who would you come back as and why? And the class clown sitting next to me said, Mr. Arnaldo, I'm coming back as the principal so I can fire you. Who are you coming back as? And Mr. Arnaldo said, I'm coming back as your father so I can pull out. Now now Mr. Alnaldo's your favorite teacher too. Thank you very much, everybody, and Kristin O'Brien.